This week, the Chicago Cubs lost to the New York Mets in the National League Championship Series. Now it's time for fans to continue the tradition of discussing the future of the franchise and the time frame for the next World Series.
Hi, welcome to this week's Ramble. I'm your host, Bridget Murphy, and I'm here with Madeline Kenny and Nader Issa. Yes, it is sad, but yes, it is true. As quickly as it began, the Cubs' postseason run has come to a close, and the curse of the Billy Goat is still in effect. But I'm here today to talk about when we think the curse will finally be lifted. Nader?
Well, obviously the Cubs overachieved this year. Everyone thought they would be better with Joe Madden. They got a big free agent pitcher in John Lester, Chris Bryant. A bunch of rookies came up, Kyle Schwarber, Addison Russell, all big-time rookies. But the Cubs did overachieve this year. They went farther than we expected. But with that said, I think next year is their year. They made it to the NLCS. They came up just short, not just short. They got swept by the Mets. But the Mets were clearly the more dominant team, more experienced, better pitching. If the Cubs can get a big free agent signing in the offseason, they'll be good to go.
That's refreshing, a Cubs fan saying next year is the year. Okay, Maddie?
Another year. I think, honestly, it'll probably be in a few years. It kind of always depends on that offseason, though, you know, with trades and with draft picks, who they're going to get, how they develop their players, how they maintain a healthy roster and everything, you know. And so, yeah, they have a lot of rookies on the team right now, or young players, all that are under 25, four major ones. And so I see them developing a lot, but I don't think they'll be ready in time for next season. I think that it's important they peak at the right time, and I do think that they began to peak at the right time this season, but then again, with the Mets, the Mets' last-minute trades really messed them up.
Now, Nader, you say that they overachieved this year, but they still didn't win the National League title. Now, do you think that next year is the year for them to take it all, or is next year just a stepping stone in their quest to eventually take it all?
I think next year is their year to take it all. They already have a great 1-2 punch in the rotation with John Lester and Jake Arrieta. They could still get another big picture. Zach Greinke opted out of his deal with the Dodgers. You never know. Maybe he's thinking Chicago. But they already have a great rotation. They already have a great lineup. The rookies, Chris Bryant already proved that he's one of the best players in the league without having that much experience. Just in his first season, he didn't even play a full season this year. And they already show they have the talent. They just needed the experience of getting disappointed in the playoffs. All great teams need to be disappointed in the playoffs before they can make it. Now with 1 or 2 offseason additions, they can be right there next year again.
And Maddie, what do you say to people who say that this youthful spirit that the Cubs have going for them right now is one of the reasons that they've been going so far? If you wait a couple years, will that wear off, or will it just continue to mature into them being a more winning team?
I think it'll continue to mature, especially with developing their players in the right way. And so I think, yes, Chris Bryant was very successful this season, and yes, our offense was amazing, but there also needs to be development with the pitchers. There needs to be at least one more pitcher in that lineup. They need to develop more on the outfield and stuff with the pop flies during the Mets game. And so I just think that if they develop the players, then I think there would definitely be potential within the next 3 years. It's their year.
Okay, I'm going to go with Nader because I like the hopefulness, and I know that all of the right tools are there for the Cubs, like you said, and it's honestly just a matter of them putting it together, and whenever they can do that, hopefully it'll be next year. Back to you guys at the desk.
And in true Cubs fan fashion, there's always next year.